let's see what we can learn from this great point between Stanford and Ohio State. Now, this video is courtesy of J Tennis on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to their awesome channel. I'll put their link in the description below. All right, so this is Stanford. This is Ohio State. Let's check out the split step. I know this is actually going from one point to another, so you can see like it actually blends in from a previous point. But let's actually go to the contact. And I apologize, it's two videos at once. But that's the contact right there. And we want to know the split step timing. So when do the feet land of the returner? Right there, right? So the split step timing is usually always around 0.2 seconds, 0.25 seconds. So he's got that. That's synchronizing the brain with when the feet hit the ground, right? The brain and the reaction time. So here he uses the very common and well-known split, turn, hit, step. So split, turn, hit, and then he steps. You want to learn that because it allows you to handle really fast serves and the footwork doesn't take a really long time. So they exchange cross-court forehands, but right here, Stanford gets in trouble. So the Stanford player is behind the baseline and outside the court, and he hits a ball right to the backhand of Ohio State. And that's what allows the ball to go cross court. He goes scrambling, and Ohio State moves around. Check this out. He hits it to the backhand. That makes it so easy for this player to hit cross court, and now this player is completely out of position, and then he goes scrambling. You'll notice when this ball goes cross court, Ohio State moves this way. The reason is because really the most valuable position you can be in singles is to be on, if you're right-handed, on the left side of the court, hoping to get a ball to your forehand. Because you can drive it inside out, you can take it inside in, and your opponent is really frozen. They're not sure kind of what you're going to do. So Stanford hits the ball short, and you'll notice that Ohio State moves forward. He does not let this ball come to him. He's trying to rob Stanford of time. So he actually hits this ball into the open court, and he starts going forward. Now remember, the split step timing. I'm always teaching you about split step timing. It is so important that you time your split steps correctly. The human eye, like our reaction time to our brain and our body reacting, with our head reacting to the shot is 0.2 to 0.25 seconds. It's somewhere in that range, depending on the skill and like just the athleticism of the student or the player. So what we have to do is go to contact. So there's the contact. So now his eyes are able to see, but let's just see how long it takes for him to process. And it's around 0.2 seconds. So look when his feet hit the ground right there. And look what it is, 0.23 seconds. So that is why the split step timing is what it is. You want to be in the air as your opponent hits. Look, he's in the air as the opponent is hitting so that he's landing the split step after. You want to synchronize your brain with your feet hitting the ground. So make sure that you take off before your opponent hits, you're in the air as they hit, and then you land after. I don't care if it's a return of serve, if you're at the net, double, singles, just rallying back and forth, it doesn't matter. Our reaction time is the same, so you want the split step to be the same. Now, let's look at this volley. This was a beautifully executed volley from the standpoint of footwork and technique. He floats this ball a little bit, right? He's got the racket face a little too open and that ball pops up, which actually allows this player to put the racket on it. But in fact, I think that was actually a double bounce. If you look at this, watch this really closely. Check this out. Let's see. Yeah, that was a double bounce. And in fact, look at this coach right here. Watch the coach react. He's like, yo, 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 yo. And he's talking to the umpire. He's like, hello, that was a double bounce. Like, that was really obvious. And he's actually like talking to the guy like, yo, that ball was a double bounce. All right, let's go back to the volley. So you don't want to move to a volley. You want to move through a volley, right? So it's just like a finish line in a race. Usain Bolt didn't run to the finish line. He ran through the finish line. So you want to move through a volley. And what's the key to that? The key is that the last foot that actually hits the ground is the foot on the side where you're making contact. So since he's right-handed, he's hitting the ball on the right side. It actually doesn't matter that he's right-handed. Since he's hitting the ball on the right side of his body, the last foot that's going to hit the ground is his right foot. This is a really important concept because it allows you to move through the volley, because he'll hit the ball and then after he hits, then his left foot hits the ground. So you do not want to plant this front foot prior to hitting because you will not be able to move through the volley. It has to do with every action has an equal and opposite. It's like when we pump our arms when we run, right? You want your right arm to be able to go forward, which means your left leg should be going forward. So he can't put that left foot down until after actually he contacts the ball. Now let's look at the technique. A couple days ago, I made a video actually in my driveway talking about, and if you actually look in my channel, you'll see this video in my driveway. I talk about the key to having your racket head up, and you can see this, the racket head is above his hand. The key is actually get your hand below the ball. So if we put a line at his hand, notice his hand is lower than the ball. That forces the racket to be up as he's contacting. I'm sure if you're a coach, you know this idea of V for volley, right? So he's got this V between his forearm and his racket, gives him a strong wrist position, right? It's a little more stable, obviously, as he contacts. But notice he has his racket lower than contact, and it makes all the difference in actually having a stable volley. Now, this is actually not a terrible shot from the opponent because at least he rolled the ball and he got the ball below net level. When your opponent is attacking you and your opponent's coming forward, don't feel like you have to hit this spectacular pass or lob up over their head. It's in your best interest to actually try to get that ball low to them. Now, he didn't quite get it low enough. It would have been awesome if he could have hit a half volley or made the ball bounce first, which would have really popped the ball up, and then he probably gets there in time. But you want to try to really make sure that you're getting that ball below net level, and it's going to be harder for your opponent to win the point. Now, I really like the volley that he hit when it comes to where he made it land. Two things. He made the ball, the volleyer, made the ball land in the service box, right? He's trying to get that ball as far away from the opponent as possible, but also he's keeping the ball in front of him. It's called HTL, hold the line. When you keep the ball in front of you, then you aren't scrambling. You see so many players, I made another video of this on court, showing that a mistake that players make in singles is they have a low volley and they'll hit it cross court. When you have a low volley and you hit it cross court, what you end up doing is moving your opponent away from you, and then you got to go scrambling, and they can either hit it behind you, or if you don't get there in time, they can hit down the line. So I love the fact that with low volleys, that sorry about that little malfunction there in the app, but I love that he had a low volley and he kept it in front of him. Now he's forcing the opponent to run, and he just gets to stay here, and he actually gets to bisect the down the line and cross court. And then obviously this player does his best to get that ball in the air. Love the turn, by the way. Strings are pointing down. That's how you want to hit an overhead. Watch the racket pass in over his head, knocking off the birthday hat. Love it. Absolutely love it. You even got like a little Sampras elbow there. See this elbow? See how he's bending the elbow? This is actually something that I do for my serve to help me pronate even more. But he's got a nice loose arm, and he's got that Ben Shelton elbow or the Pete Sampras elbow on that overhead. So just a really fun point to kind of analyze. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, if you'd love to use the same strategies the pros use to win their matches, then you got to pick up the Singles Playbook by Fuzzy Yellow Balls. It's all broken down by the type of opponent you play against, and it's over 50 pages, strategy after strategy. And what's really cool is each page comes with a QR code, so you can watch a video of exactly how to use each strategy. Just use my link in the description and pinned in the first comment. And if you're looking for people in your local area to play matches against or practice with, or if you want to find a coach who's close to you who can help you with your game, then use my link for PlayYourCourt, and it's playyourcourt.com/2minutetennis. When you use my link to sign up, you get 50% off. Go out and film yourself playing matches and analyze it, or better yet, have me analyze it for you. Go to 2minutetennis.net to take a singles strategy Zoom lesson with me, and I'll teach you all the ways that you can improve. You do that, there's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.